Welcome. Nice to
Hi,
see you.
Bert. Thank you for having me.
A long time family-owned business, and I believe it's been, next year it'll be 110 years.
110 years, yes.
Wow.
Yep, my great-grandfather started the business in 1910 in Jackson. Yep. He was a brush salesman. He came from Plainfield, Vermont on the train.
I'm from Vermont.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Awesome. When he got to Jackson, he got tired of selling brushes. He had friends back in Barry, Vermont, which is a
Granite capital.
Yes, granite capital, exactly. Yeah, and so he decided to go into the monument making business here in Jackson, 1910.
From being in granite, he wanted to work with granite? Is that how it happened?
Well, he had friends back in Vermont that were in the granite business, so he kind of had a connection, I guess, to the business.
Well, awesome. I like you and your company even more now that it's connected to Vermont.
Yes.
Yeah, Vermont is the capital of, along with New Hampshire, the granite deposits in this country. Do you get a lot of your memorials from Vermont and New Hampshire?
I do.
Yeah.
Yep, I do. I love Barry granite.
So you've decided to follow in not just your great-grandfather's footsteps, but your grandfather and your father. The whole family's been in this business.
Yes, yep. I would be the fourth generation stone worker. Yep.
Your work is well known all throughout the community, but I wanted to talk in particular about Saturday, where the Underground Railroad historic monument was unveiled, and it pays tribute to the Underground Railroad pioneers of Jackson. And I understand that one of the graves did not have a proper memorial, and that's where you came in.
Yeah,
What happened?
yeah. I had Linda Haas was writing a book about the Jackson County and how the Underground Railroad went through Jackson County. It started west of here and south, but it came through Jackson County. The slaves came through Jackson County on their way to Canada, was the idea, to get to the Canadian border. There was no slavery in Canada, of course, but some of the slaves stayed in Jackson County, and she had found a lady that was buried in Mount Evergreen Cemetery. She didn't have a memorial. The grave was unmarked. And so she and her husband came to me one day, and she had this small piece of stone. She wanted me to just engrave two initials on the stone. And so I asked her to tell me the story. And the more she told me the story, the more I was compelled to do more for her, to do more for that unmarked grave. So I keep some what I call random stones at my shop. They're small stones. They might be an odd shape or a color of granite that I can't get anymore, and I use them to mark old graves like that. And so I said, I have these, pick one you like. I'll carve it however you want it. So she was overwhelmed.
Yeah, and it was great that you provided that, and really made the day great.
Yes.
Well, there's so many different types of memorials that you have that we wanted to look at some of what you put together for us.
Yeah, Charlie Amon, that's at Ella Sharp Museum. I forgot who came to us for that. That's in my display, that piece of stone. That granite comes from India. It's called Bahama Blue granite. Very nice stone, easy to work with. There's Barry granite right there, Bart.
I recognize that.
Yep, nice one. Yeah.
You know, in Vermont, the granite is so plentiful that curbs are made out of granite in the downtowns. Instead of poured concrete, they use slabs of granite.
Yep, it'll last forever.
This is pretty intricate.
That is an etching. I have an artist, she comes from Ann Arbor and does that by hand. She freehands that.
Wow.
It's really good. There's an old style monument we did that's up in Springport area, the Ferdin Cemetery. That's me on the ground working on the weekend. I'm adding a death date, we call it, a final date of death onto a pre-need stone.
That's where you were Saturday, because Alicia was saying they're representing the family, and you were out.
There's my great-grandfather, Elmer. He's the guy on the right there in the tie and the straw hat. That's how they used to deliver stones back in the 20s.
Wow.
Yep.
That's a lot of work.
Yes, it is. That's just one of our more unique memorials that we've made. It's at Spring Arbor Cemetery. That is the statue of Jesus. That's at St. John's Cemetery, back in their newer part of their cemetery. It's a nice monument. That is in Litchfield. That is a veterans memorial that we did 2 or 3 years ago. That's a nice monument. They have some dedicated veterans down in Litchfield. Yeah. Also Jonesville. Jonesville has a very good veteran program. That is St. Mary Cemetery out in Manchester, Michigan.
Oh, yeah.
Nice signage. Yep. There's an angel. Angels are popular.
There's no limit to, it's just someone's, their livelihood or their special interests, you're able to really match that to the memorial.
Yeah, that's what it should be. Personalized. Special. That's at the airport. That's the aviator, what do they call that? The Heritage Park, I think.
The Aviation Heritage Park.
And that's the Victims' Rights Memorial. That's at Cascades. Yep. We add those plaques every year. Yep.
So everyone's seen your work all over Jackson, all over, well, the Midwest. You've got a lot of work to do in the spring too, because then a lot of your memorials have to be placed, because obviously when it's 20 below, you're not doing that.
We're not doing anything in that kind of weather. No, we're not. No.
You also brought something in that is pretty interesting. This is something that's new. Tell me about this.
This is a product called D2. It's a biological cleaner. It's safe for the environment. This time of year, a lot of people are out wanting to clean monuments and memorials. This D2 is the best stuff I've ever seen. We sell it at my store. It's $20 a bottle. Or you can buy it on the internet. There's another product called Wet and Forget, which is similar to it. And this stuff is great for cleaning monuments. Just spray that on and scrub it with a dollar store scrub brush, and they should clean right up to brand new.
Yeah, it's amazing how fast the elements can do some damage to a memorial, but things like just dirt and dust over time, and this takes care of it.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
One thing I think is pretty cool, so you will get, say a couple, they get a memorial and it gets placed, and one of the half of the couple pass away, and then it's years later that the other one passes. You're able to match the lettering, the font, the depth, everything on that stone, so it looks like it was all done at once.
Yeah, that's the goal. Yeah, we want it to all look the same, like it was done at once. Yeah, it takes a lot of work. I've done it for about 25 years. I do it myself. I don't let my shop people do it. It's just in case something happens bad, I don't want them to be responsible.
That's an art.
I'll take the.
How about veterans? Because veterans, they have, I think there are certain types of memorials, and I think there are some that are bronze too. Do you do those?
No, the bronze veteran memorials are free to the veteran.
The government provides those.
The government provides them, yes, exactly. as long as they're honorably discharged. They have their choice of an upright granite memorial, upright marble. They can have a flat marble or a flat granite, or they can have the bronze, the flat bronze. There's some that are 24 by 12. There's smaller ones that are 8 by 5. So our government does want our veterans' graves marked in the cemetery. Mm-hmm.
Besides the memorials and monuments, if somebody would like a granite a product for a garden or anything, you guys can do all that too.
We do benches, yeah, garden benches. We've delivered some to people's houses. Yeah, we've done some of that. Memorial stones, if someone's cremated, maybe they chose not to go to the cemetery, they chose to be buried in the garden or the hedgerow. We make small garden stones. It's something that fits something that looks good in the location where they are.
Awesome. Well, what a great treasure Jackson Monument Works is to the community, and appreciate you coming in today.
Oh, thanks for having me.
It's
This
nice
is
to see you.
really fun.
The owner of Jackson Monument Works, fifth generation? Fourth generation?
Fourth,
Fourth
yep.
generation.
Yep.
Right here in Jackson, Chris St. John.